Hi, I'm Dave Vickers and welcome to The Photo Show. Today we've got the third part of the interview I recorded with Mike Browne. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, I'll put the links here so you can go back and watch those first. If you have, let's move on with the third part of the interview with Mike Browne.
Obviously we've also almost given a masterclass here while we were talking.
Yeah, I know.
But when did sort of you were working as a commercial photographer? When did the idea of teaching photography come in? How did that manifest itself?
It's my old dream of always wanting to go travelling. I wanted to find a way to do what I love doing, photography, and make a living online, so that I could see some of this amazing world, which of course I never did. In the blink of an eye, what I thought I'll do this for a year, suddenly 20 years, boink, gone.
Wow.
My then partner, my ex-partner Jane, she's a brilliant TV producer and a writer and a journalist. So anyway, I wrote an ebook with her help, and we created this ebook in 2006. I just thought, well, will anyone buy it? And started selling it online, and it's still selling today. And I get brilliant feedback about it.
Amazing.
It's still current. It's called Digital Photography Exposed. But so that was the beginning. Will anyone buy stuff online? Is it possible to sell stuff online? And slowly over time, we kind of evolved this idea. We combined Jane's skills and my own. Jane is a TV producer and started making videos.
Okay. Yep.
Which was originally a subscription model. People paid £10 a month to get access to new videos plus the back catalogue on the website. The economy went to ruin.
Hell in a handbasket.
Absolutely. just as that was launched, it was growing but too slowly to be sustainable. All sorts of stuff. Also, life started taking some really unpleasant turns. Things got pretty bad. Jane and I split up, and all that stuff. And yeah, it's been along the way out of the ruin of that, actually. A brilliant friend of mine, a guy called Paul Tansey, who's the managing director of Intergage, the company that power my website.
Right.
Very close friend of mine. He's been wonderful throughout. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now without him and his company. He came up with this idea and said, why don't you put a few videos on YouTube? Why don't you take that back catalogue and put it on YouTube? Because we borrowed a lot of money from the bank to start the business, and it was all spiralling off into I pretty much had a nervous breakdown at that time, to be honest. Life was bad. It was all spiralling off down the plug hole. Paul said, why don't you stick it on YouTube and just see, maybe the ad revenue. We had 3 or 4 freebies as samples. Maybe the ad revenue, if you put it all on there, will cover the bank repayments. At least you're not suddenly on the carpet for multiple thousands of pounds to the bank.
Yeah.
And so that was done. It was a long painful process to get everything done. But as I went online, I was listening to comments, and I thought, wow, people like what I'm doing. It was kind of scary, because if you put something on YouTube, someone doesn't like it, they're going to tell you.
Oh, they'll tell you on YouTube. Double click. Yes.
I thought, wow, this is incredible. People really like it, and I'm making a difference for somebody, and that is personally hugely rewarding.
Yeah.
And so that's where it began. And in the process of coming out of this ruin, I thought, well, maybe if I do what Google does, basically give away lots of brilliant stuff, could I have a little core of really good quality, make a big difference for you, training courses that I could sell, so people get all the basics, all the techniques. I've given that away. Now you want to learn how to string those techniques together. You want to learn how to really make it happen. So I've given people the techniques. Now I need to train the person behind the camera.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, I've got to make money. It's still a business. I'd love to be. I wouldn't say I'll just do this because I love it, and I've still got to make money. I'm still running a business.
Just an altruistic.
Yeah, just altruistic. That was the word I was trying to think of.
So saying with the so you were saying that YouTube, when did you start the YouTube thing? It was what, 2007, 2008?
It was 2007, 2008. The first video went onto YouTube. And that was from something else. That there was no plan in the direction it is now.
That was really, in sort of, in YouTube. That's early in the YouTube days. And I can't think there was many, 1, photography videos on there, and 2, British photographers.
Very few.
Yeah. There's still not many.
There's still not many. It started off. I was asked by a magazine to do a review of a Pentax camera, and shoot some pictures, do like a photo shoot, and write about the camera. So I did that, and we just had this idea: we should film it, make a little video, put it on YouTube.
Right.
It's a bit of publicity. See what
Yeah.
happens. We can put it on the website. It'll look nice.
Yeah.
That's all there was. That was the
Yeah.
only thought. I look back on it. It's still there. It's still sitting on YouTube.
No,
it's since
like I
been
said,
remade.
see
but-
that to me, because you look at it now, and the idea of putting stuff on YouTube as a marketing venture, or as something to do that is quite common now. But you're talking sort of 2 years after YouTube actually started, so that's fairly forward,
It's a lot-
forward thinking,
yeah,
and
yeah, and it's kind of video. You kind of realise video is the way it's going. It's the way forward, and
Yeah.
and so that's kind of where that came
And
from.
do you also find that sort of are people? Do you think people are more willing to learn from online resources, or do you think workshops and things like that are sort of where people are more happiest being taught? Where do you?
It's both.
Yeah.
Yes, people. Massive change between 2006, 2007 now as to what people 2006, 2007 the internet was kind of a bit of a wild frontier.
Yes.
Am I going to get ripped off? Is someone going to steal my card details? Now it's kind of, oh, actually it's quite safe. It really is very safe. I know we hear all these scare stories about accounts getting hacked, but it's pretty rare.
Yeah.
In all honesty, you still get people nick credit cards.
Oh yeah.
You
More
know,
likely
you
to
give
get
your
done
card
and
number over the phone to
Yes.
a restaurant to buy some food. There's
Yeah.
nothing that's far less secure than buying something online. So yeah, big difference. People are more interested in buying online. People like to have the convenience of being able to download something and learn something in their own time at home. But there's also people still want the direct approach. They still like the guidance. They still want to go out and be taught something new, and also to find an excuse to dedicate some time to their photography, because normal people have families and jobs, and that all encroaches onto the time.
Yeah.
And the only way to learn photography is to do photography, and it's very hard to do photography if you're out with your partner, kids, friends, and you think, we're going to the Lake District, I'll take my camera. You can't do photography in the Lake District.
Yes.
You've got a load of
Yeah.
people standing there going, will you just take a bloody picture? So
I mean, this is a very good point actually. So I mean, the workshops and things like that, it forces people to say, right, I am taking this amount of time to go and do that. So did the workshops then grow out of the YouTube side of it? So from the subscription model, the workshops then was a sort of a natural progression, or
it kind of grew. It's some people asked me if I did workshops, if I'd do some workshops, so I started running a little local one-day workshop. And it just grew, and also in the early days of, because I went back to being in creating what I'm doing now. It was a bit like in the first instance of learning photography, where there was no money. I just thought, I've got to do this. This is, again, it's like I'm going to do this or die.
yes, yeah,
And
yeah.
I needed some money, and people were talking about work, so I set up a little local one. One day sort of beginners thing, and it's still going on. Did one on Saturday,
Right.
and I really quite enjoy it. We just go somewhere, I'll show people a few basic camera skills, a few basic things. I was really concentrating on the creativity side of it, because I want people to take pictures that they're proud of.
Yes.
So I don't really care how they achieve it. I just want them to look in the back of the camera and go, oh, I did that.
Yeah.
Because once they do that, they become self-inspired. And then it's time to start digging into, so what do ISOs do? How can I use an ISO? What is reciprocity failure? What is hyperfocal distance? If you start hitting people with hyperfocal distance and reciprocity failures and things like that at the beginning, they're going to go,
I don't know. Yeah.
people want nice pictures.
Yes. Yeah, and I think
Let's
this is
start there.
where,
And then when you get in them, you'll be inspired to find out how to make them even nicer.
Yeah, I think this is something that sort of I notice as well. People getting tied up with the technicalities of it. When you can learn things, piecemeal, like you said. And I also think that with modern cameras these days, you can also learn from the camera. If you've got it set in auto, when you're lining up your shot, have a look what it's put as the shutter speed, have a look what it's put as the aperture, and back engineer it to the what and the why from there.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely back engineer it. And also experiment. Do some stuff, experiment. People are scared to experiment in case they get it wrong.
Yeah.
Don't worry about getting it wrong.
Well, like we were saying earlier, I believe you learn more by getting it wrong. If you get it right, you've learned nothing.
You get it
Apart
right,
from the
it
fact you
just
can do it.
happened,
Yeah.
And often there'll be a question, and usually we get something right, particularly when we're learning. We're just chuffed we got it right. We
Yes.
don't question how we got it right. If you get something wrong, you can go, why didn't that work?
Yeah.
Why isn't that what I wanted? And start asking some powerful questions and really looking into it and spend some time looking, why didn't that work? It's a golden opportunity to learn something new.
Yeah.
Because when we get it right, we're too busy going,
enjoying the
that.
moment.
I love it.
Yeah. Because it's another thing as well about looking at other people's work for a sort of inspiration. It's for people to understand that you can look at, the best photographer's work in the world is out there for you to look at. It's online. You've only got to type in the photographer's name and their best work will come up on screen for you. And by looking at that, you can back engineer it. You can look at it and say, well, was it shot with a fast shutter speed? Was it shot with a wide aperture? And you can, start thinking, well, hang on, that's how he shot. How can I apply that to what I do and that kind of thing. You're saying about the workshops. So the workshops has now led you to be able to travel and teach photography. Is that correct? Am I?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's, to be honest, the workshops are not huge money spinners.
Right.
They are obviously additional income. They're all part of it, but it's kind of like it's allowing me to meet people, to be with people, to go to some amazing places. The real dream of the business, if you like, if you want to look at it as a business thing, was, as I said, all my life I wanted to go and travel. And like an idiot, Browne, you waited so long and procrastinated and dithered, and that's why in a lot of my videos I'm on about don't procrastinate. It's because I know the bloody damage it does. Because I got lines around here. I started doing this ages ago. I'd been doing this a long time ago.
Yes.
But maybe, who knows? Maybe I needed to know. Maybe I need to go to the lessons that life's given me to be here, to be able to start doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle thing. My mum died with one unfulfilled dream, and that was she wanted to travel to Australia. She was a crazy, brilliant, wacky, awesome woman. I'm not going to go there. I'll tell you stories for hours. Brilliant woman. She had this one unfulfilled dream, and when she died, when life was already pretty bad, it was just kind of get on with it.
Yeah.
We have a finite amount of time on this planet, and if you're going to fulfill your dream, Browne, get on with it.
Yeah.
And it went back into the, like it was when I was on the dole on income support and learning photography. Right, I'm changing my business. We're going to make this happen. So it's actually through creating downloadable courses, training the photographer, that facilitates really so that I can work from other places.
Right.
My needs are not great. As I'm not interested in Ferraris and speedboats and stuff like that. It does nothing for me. So it's kind of the online training thing. But the other side of the online training thing, not only does it allow me to fulfill my own dream of being able to see some of this amazing world and photograph it, and the workshops like the ones we do in Asia, in Myanmar, and this autumn in Cambodia. It's travel photography. It's what totally buzzes me up. It's just astonishing. You can't do that sort of photography in our society. You point a camera at someone walking across the road in the UK, or a girl riding a bicycle in a street in the UK. What are you doing? Photographing my girlfriend?
Yeah.
Or something like that. It's a totally different society, and it's a totally different thing. Not a problem, not an issue. Everyone's happy. They might come and say, "Can I see?"
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, love it.
Thing.
And that's it. It's a totally different thing. But in the training and the teaching, it's allowing me to fulfill my dream to be able to go and travel. But it's also incredibly rewarding to see the comments that I get on YouTube, to read the emails and the things on Facebook from people, knowing that I've turned a little light on for someone, knowing that someone's gone, I've been struggling with this for ages. I get it. I understand.
Right. Yeah.
It's the most personally rewarding thing ever. If somebody comes up to me on a workshop, a guy did in Zurich a while ago, and just said, I've got it. I said, what have you got, Luke? He said, I've got it. I know how to make an interesting photo. It's so simple. I've just got it. And it's like, wow, I had a hand in that. And that's just fabulous.
Yeah.
It's just so fabulous.
No, I can understand it. But so just from what you were just saying there, it kind of relates back to when you were saying about people going on workshops to take some time to dedicate to
doing
photography.
it, yeah.
For yourself, it seems like running the workshops is allowing you a reason to go and travel to the places you want to travel. If you weren't running the workshop there,
it's less likely that I go there, but it's more about the interaction with the people, to be honest with you.
Right.
Because with the online business, I could just think, no, I'm going to go to Australia and take my laptop and a bag with some cameras.
Yes,
and I
true.
could
The world
plug
has
in
shrunk.
online. The world has shrunk. I could do that, but it is about being around the people as well.
Yes.
It's not just a vehicle to go somewhere. I can do that without the workshop. If I can do it without a lot less hassle, because trust me, workshops are an enormous amount of work to set up.
I can imagine.
Thor and I reckon it was 6 weeks work to set it up.
Yeah.
Never mind do it.
Yes. Yeah. Just the actual. Yeah.
To put it into place, plan the itinerary, get the hotel sorted, get the insurances, make sure everything's all right, make sure it's all, gonna work. It's it'd be much easier actually not to do this, but I love it. It's just great. It's great. It's great.
But that's so. I mean, is it obviously it seems like sort of over the time that you've everything's evolved in a quite a sort of I would say natural way, because a few times you've kind of sort of
you've got to push
said
it.
I'm gonna take a left turn and make something else. What in the is at the moment is things sort of in the path that you
totally
see them being, or is there sort of anything in the future you think, I'd like to be doing this more or that?
There
more?
will be other ideas. There will be more things. I want to right now. This year, 2015 is the first year that I'm starting to move into doing what I really want to do, and to do the photography that I really love doing.
Yeah.
Because also professional photography, people think, oh wow, I'll be a professional photographer. I'll take photos all the time. Rare you take photos of what you want to take photos of. It's not just taking pretty pictures and selling them. It's doing what your clients want, and very often your clients want to do something that you really don't.
Yeah. And it is also the thing as well. It's sort of people. It's the percentage. If you're running a photography business and working commercially, the percentage of what you're actually photographing and what you're running a business.
Totally.
80-20.
Absolutely.
In the business side. And it's people. I think people about going professional.
They think they'll be shooting pictures all day.
Yeah.
They won't. They'll be doing marketing. They'll be doing spreadsheets. They'll be doing cash flow forecasts. They'll be dealing with the bank. They'll be dealing with insurances, with quotes. With, let's say, 10 customers inquire. Out of those 10, maybe one of them will book. But you've still got to deal with the inquiry and answer the emails and look after them and do the research and find out what they want. And
at the end of it, you're still not photographing something that you wanted to photograph.
No. Now, I'm not saying that's not rewarding.
No.
It's very challenging sometimes to do something. You're given something you think, I'm not that interested in it. Right, how can I really make this work? How can I make it rock? How can I make it pop? How can I get inside the head of my client?
Yes.
And really give them something they're delighted with. Doesn't matter if I'm delighted with it. Are they delighted with it? That's the most important thing. Something I'm doing a lot of now, which I love, is consultancy.
Okay.
And for businesses, for companies, lots of companies have got, they bought the in-house DSLR. I do some work for a global company called Jet Aviation. They do private jets.
Right.
It's real
high end,
glamorous stuff. Doing this has its glamorous moments, and it also has its not very glamorous moments when you're photographing electronic connectors for 3 days in the corner of a factory.
I've worked on a building site and I've worked in Buckingham Palace. So you get from one end to sorry.
But like many companies, they bought a couple of good quality cameras. They've given them to some of their marketing people and said, there you go, you can do our in-house PR photography. But these people don't know how to do photography.
Yes.
It's like you can't buy me a Formula One racing car and say, go win a Formula One. I'll just spin off in the first corner. I haven't got a clue how to the skills needed to operate the Formula One racing car. So it's really nice. I've worked with them, I've worked with them a bit before, helping and teaching, and I love doing it. I've become very good friends with the people that I work with. They're awesome. I'm just talking about going back to do some more work with them, to actually do a photo shoot with them. But it's really rewarding there as well. It's this seeing the light bulb go on.
Yeah. Okay. We'll probably wind this up now, and I think the last question I'm going to ask is: dream shoot anywhere in the world, anything you wanted to find. Is there sort of one thing that you think one day I'd love, to be there photographing this or that person, or is there anything?
You said you wanted to wrap it up and be quick. I'll spend an hour on that question. It's travel related. It is that sort of thing.
Could
It
be
would be documenting sulfur miners
Right.
carrying rocks and sulfur, burning their lungs out.
Yeah.
I'm really, really, really big on trying to do something. Not on trying to do something. There is no try. You do something or you don't do it. There's no such thing as try and do it. You
Yes.
just do it. I'm going to do something with my partner in crime, Simon Taplin, who lives in Asia. Sulfur miners, for example. This is just an example. There are so many
Yes.
examples of
Yeah.
this. Yeah, I want to go and get these amazing photographs of these wiry guys carrying these huge baskets of rocks up out of a mountain. Yeah, I want those photos because they're breathtaking, moving, emotive, powerful photos. But I also want to do something because I know those guys say, we don't want our children to do this.
Right.
We want our children to live in a world that's clean, and they're not going to die by the time they're 30 because they can't breathe because their lungs have been ripped out. So if I'm going to take those pictures, I want to find a way to make those pictures generate something for the people in those pictures. And that's one Simon and I are going to do. I could talk for many hours about that sort of thing, but yeah. So
Fabulous. Mike, that was amazing. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure to talk to you.
No, I really hope that, it's